There are moments in history when entire civilizations stand silently at the edge of collapse. People continue dancing, laughing, falling in love, making promises about the future, completely unaware that war is already moving toward them like a storm hidden beyond the horizon. And perhaps that is the tragedy of human life. We continue searching for happiness, even while the world around us slowly falls apart. Long ago, in Imperial Russia, before fire consumed cities, before soldiers vanished into snow, before death marched across Europe, there existed a world of beauty. Golden ballrooms, candlelit palaces, elegant music drifting through royal halls, young people dreaming about love, about glory, about meaning. But history does not care about dreams. And soon, war would change everything. This is the story of love and loneliness during chaos. This is War and Peace. In the glittering society of St. Petersburg, wealthy families gathered beneath chandeliers brighter than stars. Women moved gracefully through marble halls. Men discussed politics beside glasses of wine. Everything appeared elegant, perfect, untouchable. But beneath the beauty, fear already existed, because across Europe, one man had begun reshaping history itself. Napoleon Bonaparte. To some, he was a genius. To others, a monster destined to drown Europe in blood. And inside Russia's aristocracy, people whispered nervously about war. Yet despite the growing darkness, young hearts still searched for love. Among them was Pierre Bezukhov. Awkward, lonely, intelligent, a man who never truly belonged anywhere. Pierre inherited enormous wealth suddenly after his father's death. And overnight, society transformed around him. The same people who once ignored him now welcomed him warmly, praised him, admired him. But Pierre slowly discovered something painful about wealth. Money attracts attention, not love, and surrounded by luxury, he remained deeply alone. Prince Andrei Bolkonsky was different, cold, disciplined, emotionally distant. Though he possessed status and respect, he no longer found meaning in ordinary life. His marriage felt empty. Society bored him. Conversation exhausted him. And deep inside, he hungered for something greater. Glory, purpose, a reason to feel alive again. So when war approached, Andrei welcomed it. Because sometimes, people run toward danger not because they are fearless, but because they are desperate to escape themselves. Then there was Natasha Rostova, young, full of life. Her laughter carried warmth powerful enough to brighten entire rooms, unlike others trapped inside aristocratic performance. Natasha felt genuine, human, alive. She dreamed of love passionately, believed in happiness completely, and perhaps that innocence made her dangerous, because war destroys innocence faster than anything else in existence. Soon, Russia entered war against Napoleon. Young men marched proudly toward battlefields. They imagined heroism, honor, victory. But war rarely resembles the stories people create about it. The battlefield smelled of smoke, mud, blood, fear. Men screamed beside exploding cannons. Horses collapsed violently into frozen earth. And suddenly, glory no longer looked beautiful. Prince Andrei witnessed death everywhere, friends disappearing beside him, bodies buried beneath snow, human beings transformed into broken shadows within seconds. And for the first time, he understood how small human ambition truly is beneath the chaos of history. During the Battle of Austerlitz, Prince Andrei charged forward carrying the Russian flag proudly. He dreamed of becoming legendary, immortal, but moments later, an explosion threw him violently onto the ground. Pain consumed his body, smoke filled the air, and lying there beside death itself, Andrei looked upward, toward the endless blue sky above him. Silent, infinite, beautiful. In that moment, he realized something terrifying. Human glory means nothing. Ambition means nothing. War means nothing, compared to the endless silence of existence itself. And for the first time in his life, he felt truly awake. Back in Moscow, life continued despite war. People still danced, still hosted parties, still fell in love, and eventually, Natasha and Prince Andrei met. Their connection felt immediate, pure, like two lonely souls recognizing each other across darkness. For a brief moment, Andrei believed happiness might still exist, and Natasha believed love could survive anything. But war changes people. Distance changes hearts. Time destroys certainty. And slowly, their beautiful dream began collapsing beneath misunderstanding and emotional weakness. Because human beings are fragile, especially when trying desperately to hold on to happiness inside a world already breaking apart. Meanwhile, Pierre wandered endlessly through life searching for meaning. Despite his wealth, despite society surrounding him constantly, he remained spiritually empty. He tried philosophy, politics, pleasure, religion. Nothing filled the silence inside him. And perhaps that is the central tragedy of human existence. People spend their entire lives searching for purpose, without realizing purpose cannot simply be purchased or discovered overnight. It must be lived, suffered, earned. Then finally, Napoleon invaded Russia, and history itself seemed to collapse. Cities emptied, families fled desperately, smoke darkened the sky, and Moscow, the heart of Russia, began burning. Flames consumed entire streets. Churches collapsed. Homes vanished beneath fire. And ordinary people wandered through destruction carrying whatever pieces of life they could still save. War had finally arrived completely. Not as glory, not as patriotism, but as suffering. Pure human suffering. Pierre eventually became a prisoner during the chaos. Stripped of wealth, status, identity, and strangely, inside suffering, he discovered peace for the first time. Because when everything unnecessary disappears, human beings finally confront what truly matters. Warmth, compassion, connection, survival. Pierre met ordinary soldiers, farmers, men forgotten by history, and among them, he found more humanity than he had ever discovered inside aristocratic society. Natasha changed too. The young girl, once filled with innocence, slowly matured through pain. Loss transformed her. War transformed her. Love transformed her. And eventually, she understood something every human being learns sooner or later. Life does not remain beautiful forever. People leave. Dreams collapse. Time takes everything slowly away. And yet, human beings continue loving anyway. Continue hoping anyway. Perhaps that is courage. Why does war and peace still feel timeless after all these years? Because beneath the battles, beneath history itself, it tells the truth about human life. People search endlessly for meaning, for love, for purpose, for permanence. But life remains fragile, unpredictable, temporary. War destroys cities. Time destroys youth. Death eventually comes for everyone. And yet, human beings continue dreaming, continue falling in love, continue searching for beauty even inside suffering. Perhaps that is what makes humanity extraordinary. Not power, not victory, but the ability to continue loving despite knowing everything eventually disappears. And hey, at NOIIR, we explore stories exactly like this. Stories about loneliness, human nature, history, love, and the fragile beauty of existence itself. So tonight, close your eyes, listen to the snow falling outside, and walk once more through the burning world of war and peace. Subscribe to NOIIR, because some stories are not meant to entertain. They are meant to stay with you forever.